Hi everyone, this is Serverless Camp Week 3 Step 6 by Bit Project. My name is Emily, and in this video we're going to be going over how to get started with our new Deep Secrets project that will be working with a NoSQL database. And we're just setting up here, so a lot of this I believe you guys should already know. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we want to do is create a new branch called Deep Secrets. So let's just go ahead and do that now. I'm going to open up VS Code. Alright, so I want to pull from origin first to make sure that we don't have anything that's outdated. Alright, now that we've done that, I'm going to go ahead and switch to the main branch. Okay, get pull again, and now I'm going to create a new branch. Call it Deep Secrets. Alright, so now that I've created this new branch, let's go ahead and go back and see what we need to accomplish. Okay, and now we need to create an HTTP trigger function and add its URL to a repository secret named Deep Secrets endpoint. Sounds good. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull up the secrets first before we go ahead and create. So this should be pretty self-explanatory. I'm going to Azure, new HTTP trigger. Let's call it Deep Secrets. And there we go. I'm just going to go ahead and deploy it so then we can actually get a function URL. I'm going to deploy it to the app, function app that I've been using. And all right, it's deploying right now, and I'll get back to you guys once it's finished. Alright, now that deployment is completed, we can go ahead and grab the function URL and then configure a couple more settings in different places. So I'm first going to the Azure portal, and over here I'm going to refresh the page and a new function should pop up. There we go, there's our Deep Secrets function. I'm going to get the function URL. I'm going to go ahead and go back to Chrome and add that in as a new repository secret. Going to be called the Deep Secrets endpoint. I'm going to paste that in there. Awesome. Now the next thing we would need to do is fill in the Azure function URL as a webhook. Now if you will recall, a webhook, if you don't know what that means, it's a callback URL, and what that means is that it's triggered by an event. So every time something happens, the application will make a request to the webhook URL, which is our Azure function. So every time someone sends a message to our Twilio number, our Azure function is going to be the webhook, and Twilio is going to send a message request over to our side. Awesome. Let's do that. And if you go to your Twilio account, okay, so let's start from the beginning. If you go back to your main page, you want to click on phone numbers, this drop down right here, and then you're going to want to click on active numbers. And then you're going to click on your number. And then you are going to change this value down here. From your previous application, you might already have that set up, so you're going to want to change it. So you might have your old function URL right there. You're going to want to change it to a new one, which is going to be our new Deep Secrets Azure function. I'm going to click Save. Okay, so I'm going to go back here, and now it's actually time to code. We're going to want to write our Azure function, and all we want to do right now is to return the user's input and send, kind of like echo that message back. We're going to need our query string npm package. We've worked with this before, so I'm going to do a quick walkthrough. All right. So go back to VS Code, and then I'm going to go over here and just declare it. I'm going to call it QS instead, just to simplify things. And then I'm also going to install it. So I'm going to go into the Deep Secrets directory. And this is just called QS, so go ahead and install that. Now that we've installed it, we want to parse the request body. Remember, this is just taking the request body and separating the query parameters so that we have the values in a JSON object format, so that's easier to parse for us. It's easier for us to access all the values that we need. Okay. Now that we have this, we have a query object. Now with our query object, you can even log this out in the console to see what it looks like, but it's going to be like a JSON object with fields and values, and we want to access those values. In our case, we just want to return the body of the query object back to the user who's texting it. So right here, I can just copy this. And once again, I encourage you guys to log this out to see what it actually looks like. All right, I think that's about it. So we're gonna get ready to test it out. So I'm gonna go ahead and just click deploy to get our function updated. And while that is deploying, I wanted to show you guys what it looks like before we updated the function's code. So what it looks like while it's still at its default. So I went ahead and texted my Twilio number, and it's just going to return whatever the Azure function template returns right now. So that's what it looks like, but we'll see what it looks like once we update it with our new code. All right, now that it's deployed and up and running, let's go ahead and test it out. So I'm going to go to my messaging app, and I'm going to type in test1 hello. Can't see that. Hello. And I'm just going to send that over, and let's see if it responds. There we go. It responded with the message we just sent, which is our end goal. So now that we've successfully tested it, it's all deployed. I think we're about ready to commit our code. So let's double check. We've done that, and we've tested it. Okay, let's commit and create a pull request for the bot to check. Okay, now this is the easy part, I would say. Let's go ahead and commit created deep secrets. We're pushing it to the deep secrets branch. All right, let's go to GitHub. We're going to make a pull request. Made function return user's text input. That's pretty much what we did. And we configured settings. I'm going to create a pull request and wait for the bot to check it out. That's about it for this step. We'll see you next time, where we're actually going to be creating the database and working with creating documents. You'll know what those mean in the next video, and really working with a serverless Cosmos DB database that is not locally hosted on your own system. So we'll see you next time when we're adding on to the Deep Secrets project. It looks like the counselor bot has just approved our pull request, so see you next time.